Hello everyone, welcome back to Football Manager 2017 with Newcastle United, and today we are kicking off away against Hull City in the Premier League. We've had a bit of an inconsistent start of the season. We've been perfect at home. We've won every single game we've played at home this season, but we've also failed to win every away match this season with 2 defeats and 2 draws so far. And that's 2 league defeats on the board already, which is just not good enough. And we start this episode with 2 away games as well. The first one in the league against Hull, and then the second one away against Juventus in the Champions League. Then we have a little nice run of 4 home games across 5 matches, where we can hopefully pick up some more points, progress through the EFL Cup, and hopefully topple Juventus in the Champions League. One thing you will notice is that we have uploaded a new tactic. This is a 4-3-1-2 game breaker tactic by the Reckonist, I think. I'm already using a hybrid of one of his previous tactics, Skulls Can't Tackle, as my other main tactic, but I think I'm going to trial this in the match against Hull as our away tactic. We've not won away from home with our current tactics, so this is something a bit different. If you want more details on this tactic, I did do a video. It's one of my most watched videos where I went through 2 or 3 different tactics, and you can get all the information you need on this tactic there. So I won't do a separate video on that now, but I will jump into this game with a new starting lineup. Imperiale is going to be the key figure in this tactic. He is playing in his best role, and I'm hoping that he can set this game alight and hopefully be the difference, especially with Simonsen in front of him. So Brow playing as the target man, Simonsen the poacher, which is ideal for him really. Then we've got Melagoni, Kovacic and Cook in a flat line of 3 in the middle. No defensive midfielder this time, so Cook pushes further up the field. Then it's Lucas, Paolo Roberto, Mamana and Felipe Augusto. We have decided to call Paolo Roberto the defensive one Bob, so I should really use his correct name. And then Matthew Ketchell is still in goal. No wingers in this game, but obviously they can play in other positions, a lot of them, so we might see how it's going. If the tactic isn't working, we can shift back to the old one, but I am determined to give it 2 or 3 away games and see if we can pick up a victory finally, and we really need to do that today against Hull. Imperiale, first chance for him to really impress us in this new role. He plays it back to Augusto. There's Imperiale again. Into Lewis Cook, further up the field than usual. Kovacic. Into Melagoni. Now Kovacic again. Can we break them down? It's Augusto. Ball played into Simonsen, who fires it into the back of the net for 1-0. Kovacic with a free kick, and he's put it straight in the top corner. I'm not sure why Simonsen wasn't on it, but Kovacic got the free kick, and it's gone right into that top corner. Kovacic with a corner, it's cleared away. Lewis Cook's there, he fires it in, and it's 3-0 in 20 minutes, and this new tactic seems to be working brilliantly. Kovacic to Melagoni. There's Lewis Cook, edge of the area, has a shot, and he's found the bottom corner too. It's 4-0 in 25 minutes. Kovacic to Melagoni. Now Imperiale finds Cook, and it's a repeat of his last goal. It's 5 now, and Hull haven't even had a shot, only 25% possession. Lucas plays the ball over to Kovacic. Now Melagoni into Cook, who's got a hat-trick already. Augusto finds that bottom corner. The keeper really should have done better, but it's 6-0 now. Well, there's the final whistle, and what a victory that was. After failing to win any of our first 4 away matches of the season, we've gone and crushed Hull 6-0 with our brand new tactic. It opens up a 4-point gap over Middlesbrough, secures 4th place for us. We've still got a bit of work to do to close down the top few teams. We're 5 points behind City, but so early in the season, there's no reason why we can't make that up. Well, there is absolutely no changes to the team for this match against Juventus. We're keeping the same tactic, we're keeping the same players. I don't want to do anything differently after that 6-0 win away from home against Hull. I'm hoping that this tactic will still work against better opposition. That's kind of the idea of this test. As we get more familiar with it, because you can see it's not fully there yet, but as we get more familiar with it, we will get better and better. There's still a lot of work to do on that, and we will switch to the old tactic for the home games in the league. But it'll be interesting to see how the tactic does. I'm willing to write this game off. Hopefully it doesn't come to that, because I'd still like to win this group, and we've already dropped points against easy opposition. So a victory over Juventus would put us top of the group after 3 matches and put us in control to get a better draw in the next round. Felipe Augusto plays the ball over the top, and Rugani gets there, but here he has another chance, and he's found Imperiale in that hole. There's Simonsen, he's got Sobral through, he's in on goal, and it's a brilliant save from the keeper. In fact, I think it hit the post. Lewis Cook's won the ball. Kovacic dinks it over the top for Simonsen, who's got in behind the defence and then loses it to Silva. Here's Wimmer, just hanging onto the ball, and Simonsen's robbed him. There's Imperiale to Sobral. It takes a deflection, goes into the back of the net, and we're 1-0 up and dominating Juventus in these opening 10 minutes. Lucas throws the ball to Kovacic. It's become a lot more even since our goal. Melagoni finds Imperiale though. His pass doesn't work out, but there's Lewis Cook, who got a hat-trick in his last game. Now Augusto takes it to the byline, finds Sobral again, and he's hammered that into the top corner for 2-0. Imperiale's cut out that ball from the throw. Here's Sobral on a hat-trick. Plays it into Simonsen, who finds the back of the net way too easily. He's on 12 already, and we're 3-0 up away against Juventus. Kovacic finds Melagoni. Now Imperiale back to Cook. Sobral gives the ball away there. Not ideal. Higuain behind for Darbo. He's going to be able to put it across. And there's Odegaard. Close range. Not going to miss that. And Juventus have a bit of hope just before half-time. Felipe Augusto finds Simonsen. He puts it across. Lewis Cook's got to it. Now Melagoni. Back to Kovacic. There's Lewis Cook again. Slips it in. Simonsen with it. Brilliant touch. And then dinks it past the goalkeeper into the bottom corner for 4. Sobral. Back to Melagoni. Now Lewis Cook. His shot blocked, but Kovacic cleans up. Imperiale through to Lewis Cook again, who finds the bottom corner for 5-1 at Juventus. Felipe Augusto takes a free kick. It's cleared away. Paolo Roberto, or Bob, gets there first. Here's Melagoni to Kovacic. Now Mamana finds Ronin. Can he find that through ball? Montoya's cut it out instead from Simonsen. Odegaard over the top for Lacazette. The ball's with Linord, who's given that away with a really poor touch. Higuain through towards Lacazette, takes a brilliant touch and finds the bottom corner in a way that he was always going to do. 5-2, and this is such a high-scoring game. Leroy Sané finds Roning. He pushes it out wide towards Felipe Augusto. Silva cuts it out. That's a dangerous ball to play across, but it's worked out, and Odegaard picks out Lacazette. Felipe Augusto gets across. Now Kovacic back to Mamano, who's lost it to Bakayako, who's just been a bit careless right now. Melagoni to Roning. Now Felipe Augusto can really have a run. He plays it through for Sobral, who's in on goal on a hat-trick and gets his hat-trick. That is not a bad way to get your first hat-trick for the Newcastle United. 6-2 away against Juventus. Lacazette finds Correa, and he's fouled by Felipe Augusto in the box, and there's a chance for a 9th goal of this game. Juventus can make it 6-3 from the penalty spot. Higuain will take the penalty. He's just waiting, then he steps up and scores for 6-3. Not entirely impressed with our defensive efforts, but 6 goals is pretty impressive. There is the final whistle. It has finished 6-3 to us against Juventus. A stunning victory that really backs up that we are going to be a very good team this season. The new away tactic doing all of the damage, getting us 6 goals. We're now top of the group stage with 7 points. We're definitely going to go through, but it's about if we can hold on and win the group overall. We'll play Juventus at home in the next leg, but right now this away tactic is working absolute wonders. Well, we are reverting to our original Newcastle tactic for the home game against Norwich. It has won us every home game of the season so far. So as much as I'm enjoying the new tactic, I do want to keep the difference between home and away. And that means that a few faces have come back into the team, especially Paolo Roberto on the left wing and Leroy Sané on the right wing. Simonsen is now alone up top, despite Sobral getting a hat-trick against Juventus in midweek. Simonsen is still very consistent and will be leading that line. Imperiale, who really impressed me in his new role, has dropped into central midfield alongside Kovacic. Lewis Cook, who's got 4 goals in 2 games from a more advanced position and scored his first hat-trick, drops to defensive midfield. Lucas, Bob, Mamana and Augusto make up the back 4 and Matthew Ketchell's in goal. I'm hoping that this doesn't prove to be a silly gamble. The new tactic has been brilliant, but I do really enjoy this tactic, and it's the tactic that's got us to where we are today, so I don't want to completely abandon it. And I think having the change between the two tactics will really help just throw the game a bit, because sometimes it can be easy for other teams to figure out how you're going to line up if you have the same formation every single time. So switching between the two might help out. And let me know your thoughts as well on whether you think I should just completely go for the new tactic or not. Obviously, we're going to have 4 more games this episode to assess it. But let's see how we do today at home against Norwich. Paolo Roberton's beaten the defender down the left wing and he's found Simonsen. 14 seconds into the game, we've taken the lead. Corner from Kovacic towards the far post is Mamana. Header across and Paolo Roberto is there for 2-0. He looks like he's got a point to prove after being left out of the new tactic. It's a goal and an assist for him 15 minutes into the game. Philip has been found down the left side. He puts the ball in and Cooley Woodrow is left unmarked at the near post. He shouldn't really be scoring from that angle anyway, but it's now 2-1. Ongenda sends the ball in, Imperiale gets it away and Simonsen can launch a counter-attack. He is a pacey player and he's got a man to his right. He plays it across now, it's Leroy Sané in on goal. He's hit the woodwork, Simonsen on the follow-up makes it 3. Kovacic with the corner. It's headed away, but Paolo Roberto's there. Simonsen goes down in the box, Imperiale is there to curl it into that bottom corner through a sea of players for 4. Paolo Roberto's corner towards the far post, and there's a foul in there, I think. That's almost certainly going to be a penalty. John Hamilton just completely flattened one of our players, and we've got a chance for 5. Right, Simonsen for the chance of a hat-trick, and he's put it down the middle. There's the hat-trick for him. 16 goals this season now. Roning. Back to Cook, ball pitched out wide to Augusto. He sends it in, and Roning came back in to finish the move for 6. Lewis Cook to Augusto, now Imperiale to Zivkovic. He pulls it inside. Simonsen just can't get to that, but the ball's come for Albini. Now Lucas can maybe swing something in. He comes back to Roning. There's a perfect angle to get it across, and Paolo Roberto is there for number 7. Simonsen's free kick, dinks it in, and the ball's come from Mamana. That's 8-1. Oh, I wasn't even paying attention there. I thought it was a full-time whistle. But there was Imperiale for 9, and Norwich must be absolutely desperate for this full-time whistle to go. This is the biggest win we have had as manager of Newcastle United, certainly in a competitive game. 9-1 it's finished, and it looks like the team is really starting to gel together well. I am very, very happy with how we're performing at the moment. Well, we're sticking with a tactic that won the match 9-1. That was the first time we've ever been in a game with 10 goals in it in this series. Absolutely phenomenal performance. And we're taking on the bogey team West Ham now. They have got a good record against us recently. There's only the one change, and that's Lucas moves into the central midfield. Bob has got a niggle and will not be able to play today. So Linord comes in at the left-back position. Everybody else in the same place as they were for the last match. If we could get half as many goals as last time, we're guaranteed a place in the quarterfinals of the EFL Cup. Augusto sends the ball into Sane, who beats the defender. It comes across. Paolo Roberto, Linord of all people, is in there in the box. He gets his first ever goal for the club as a left back, and it's 1-0. Linord into Simonsen, ball back to Imperiale on the edge of the area. That's an excellent switch to Augusto. He sends it across, and Tutan has had an absolute shocker in defence there. It goes down as a Lemos own goal, but you can only blame Tutan for that. Obiang, cut out by Albini, but he's looking for Z Gomez again. It's come for Joel Campbell, our former player. Now Obiang loses it to Albini again. Now Simonsen can launch a counter-attack. Paolo Roberto, with half a pitch of freedom, comes in, finds Simonsen, and there's 3-0. The game is all wrapped up. There is a full-time whistle. It's finished 3-0, a very comfortable victory for us. That's 4 wins on the bounce in this episode. Well, we are back in league action and back away from home, so the new tactic is being rolled out again, which means Sobral, after his hat-trick last time he played, is back up front alongside Simonsen. Imperiale just behind them as the advanced playmaker. Melagoni and Cook in that ball-winning midfielder role, with Kovacic playing as that deep line forward. Then Linord, Lucas, Mamana and Felipe Augusto make up the back 4. Just worth noting that we have now won 6 games on the bounce in all competitions. We can make it 7 with a win away from home today, which would put to an end our really poor form. We can start to move on and recover from where we were, and I think we can also move up the table if we get a win today. So hopefully the team can put this new tactic to good use. We're a bit more familiar again with it now, so we should be getting better and better. Lenore plays the ball forward. It's headed out, but Melagoni finds Cook in the middle. He's got 4 goals in 2 games in this tactic. There's Imperiale. Loses out to Flanagan, but Kovacic finds Cook again. Now Melagoni. Back to Kovacic. Lewis Cook out wide to Augusto. He can whip the ball in from this position. He does. It's come for Sobral and it's just blocked out. Glover sends the ball forward. Lenore with the header. Bell cuts it out. Now Silla. He plays it down the line, looking for Duffy, and it's a foul from Lucas and a penalty for Wolves. Sigurdsson to take the penalty, and it's gone in. Ketchel nearly got to that, but couldn't keep it out, and we really need to get down to brass tacks and win this match. Corner from Kovacic towards the far post. The ball comes down to Imperiale, turns the defender, and his shot's gone into the back of the net. We're back on terms. Free kick for Kovacic, end at the edge of the area, and he's got it into the top corner, and we've managed to turn Wolves over even before half-time. We've still got 3 minutes left of this half. Lucas with the free kick to Lenore, now Imperiale, over to Melagoni, back inside to Lewis Cook. Augusto's free on the right, pulls it across, Sobral into that bottom corner, and surely we've sewn up the points now. Simonson's header comes to Melagoni. He finds Lewis Cook. Ball out wide to Mamana. Cook into Imperiale. Tackled by Duffy. Moreno will pitch that over the top and Venera has got onto it. Can he find the bottom corner? He has, and in the last 10 minutes Wolves have closed the gap to 1 goal. Mamana. Back to Roning. Mamana finds Imperiale down the right. He sends the ball into Simonson, back across, and Sobral finds the top corner for 4, and it's going to be a 3rd away win in a row in all competitions. Well, we may have done it the hard way, but we've managed to get yet another victory. That's 5 in a row in this episode with 1 game still to play. It means we completely secure that 4th place, 4 points clear of Leicester, and we've closed the gap on Manchester City to just 3 points. Arsenal can stretch the gap to 4, but they still need to win their game in hand. Well, we're at home against Juventus for the final match of this episode, so that means we're back to the original Newcastle tactic. We'll see how this does against a team like Juventus. We beat them 6-3 away from home with the other tactic. I'll settle for a draw today because it would keep us at the top of the group. So as long as we don't get beaten, I am happy. Simonson is being joined by Paulo, Roberto and Sane as we're back with the wingers. Kovacic has the dropped deep Imperiale next to him and Lewis Cook moves back to defensive midfield. Lucas, Bob, Mamana and Augusto make up the back line. Ketchel in goal. A little bit concerned about Bob's fitness, but I'm going to trust him to play this game and we can always bring Albini in if we need to. Simonson down the left wing, sends the ball across, easily cut out by Alexandro. Nobody around the area for us. Rugani back to Wimmer. Now Alexandro again finds Darbo. He pulls it back. Not been much action in the opening 10 minutes up to now. Imperiale's won the ball though. Augusto. Forward to Simonson. He's in a little pocket. Leroy Sane. Augusto making a bit of a good run on that right hand side, but it's run for Simonson who tries to go past the defenders, pulls it back and just can't get it on target. Augusto. In towards Leroy Sane, he pulls it back and the ball's just bounced away for Correa. He's nearly lost it to Imperiale but finds Lamar. Stauro to Higuain. A lot of danger here with Darbo. He sends the ball across and Correa is there. Joaquin Correa finds the back of the net for 1-0. Our former player, Lamar. Oh, what was that from Lucas? He's getting a straight red card. There's absolutely no question about that. And we've got to play with 10 men against Juventus when we're 1-0 down. Free kick for Lamar. Cleared away. Darbo's there. And he's given it to Felipe Augusto, but Bakayako with a lot of time and space. Struaro to Lamar. Now Promes finds Higuain and it's deflected into that bottom corner. Roning. Back to Lenore, now Imperiale. He just gives the ball to Wimmer and Promes finds Higuain. Chance for a 3rd for Juventus. Lamar can't get there ahead of Augusto. Ketchel sends it long looking for Sane. Imperiale to Sobral. He holds it up, finds Paolo Roberto coming in on the left wing, and he's found the back of the net, and it's not all over yet. We've got 20 minutes to find an equaliser. Imperiale's stolen the ball, and he finds Paolo Roberto again. He's got a man in the middle if he can pick him out. He pulls it back, and Sobral is there. We've turned Juventus over to 2-2. Late free kick for Juventus. Lamar puts it in. Regani with the header, but there's been a foul, I think, and Juventus have got the penalty. Higuain is going to have the chance to break our hearts in the last minute of added time, just as United did. This would be so unfair after we've come from 2-0 down with 10 men, but Higuain does find the bottom corner. We've been turned over by Juventus. That is such an unfair result. We've been playing with 10 men against them, clawed it back to 2-2, had so many chances to win it, and it's all gone out the window. There's the full-time whistle. It has finished 3-2. That's so disappointing, but the team were very, very unlucky to lose that game right at the end. We did so well to come back, but Juventus are in the driving seat to win the group from this position. Well, that is going to be the end of this episode. We did go on a 7-match winning streak before that defeat, and we were very, very unlucky to lose that game. Next episode, it's quite an interesting little run of games. We're taking on Southampton, Bournemouth, Copenhagen in the Champions League, and then 2 very crunch away games. The first against Liverpool in the league, the second against Manchester United in the EFL Cup quarter-final, before finishing at home against Middlesbrough. That will take us up to December, so definitely something to look forward to. Let me know in the comments what you think of our new tactics. Should we go with it full-time, or should we just keep it for the away games? We have just lost, or even just failed to win at home for the first time this season, but it was against Juventus. There were just 10 men on the field. Maybe not a reflection of the tactic, but let me know in the comments what you think. Drop a like on the video if you're happy about the new tactic. Don't forget to subscribe to see if we can close the gap on Arsenal and win that Premier League title finally. But until next time, see ya.